the 9 silos.
This contraption sorted out the malted barley needed for different beer recipes, storing the grain in 9 massive silos.
Holy cow.
It's 120 feet down.
In case you're not getting a sense of scale, this is what I'm standing on top of.
And you can see quite literally, these chutes are each going down to the different numbered silos accordingly.
It may not look like much, but devices like this helped up production by 500%. All that barley would eventually be crushed, then brewed up in a massive kettle.
There you go. That's a big old tank.
In the early days, they used giant copper tanks that could hold 300 barrels. By the end of the brewery's run, they were using stainless steel. The basic process was the same, but with high-tech upgrades Jacob Schmidt would have appreciated.
In this process here, we're probably going through 8 stories.
Even today, I mean, even with computers and everything else, that's still, you're still doing the gravity method.
Right.
But the biggest upgrade here in the castle was Schmidt's massive subterranean refrigerated storage.
Yeah, you can feel it getting... You start seeing your breath right here. Whoa, this is a cavernous room, but it's really several floors, right?
Yes.
What was in here before?
These were our aging cellars. We had 10 tanks in each cellar here, and this is where we aged the beer.
Okay.
Before massive structures like this, brewers here used the natural caves for storage. It was cheap, convenient, and filthy. The caves were dank and infested with vermin, and it was impossible to control the temperatures precisely.
So this whole space is the more modern version of what used to happen down there, behind that piece of tin that's covering up an opening that takes you right down into the caves. So this is just chopped out.
Yeah, this was sealed up for many years.
When Schmidt was upgrading the facility, he used the old-fashioned cave storerooms as a dump site. Parts of the system are backfilled with 6 feet of debris.
Oh, this is so sweet, huh? So this is the natural cave. And then there's all this brickwork around.
These are the footings for the brew house.
No kidding.
For the tower.
So this enormous amount of weight has to sit on top of these caves.
The whole brew house.
And he doesn't trust that these caves are going to hold it up.
Right.
Engineers say build these along the way.
So these footings here are from 1901.
Really?
With state-of-the-art refrigeration, Schmidt was sure he had no further need for the caves.
This is really vast. This whole system of tunnels is multi-level.
Yes.
And we're on one level here. There's another one above our heads.
Yep.
Is there another one below?
Yeah, that's why we believe where this opens here.
Do you know where this goes?
Well, this is supposedly the 2nd level, but we have never been down there.
All right. So can I try that?
Go for it.
All right. Let me see what goes on here. Oh boy, there's barely a room. Let me just see if I can slide in here.
This dungeon-like labyrinth may have played a crucial role in the brewery's 100-year-plus legacy.
I have never, ever done anything like this before. This is really, really dangerous. Look at this old rat carcass. These were not nice conditions down here. I mean, bad atmosphere, okay? Lots of matter in the air, these cool temperatures. People died of tuberculosis. The guys down here were sick a lot. This was not a nice place to be.
You can see why Schmidt wanted to modernize. But some of the tunnels in this maze may date back to Prohibition, when rumor had it the brewery above was making more than just soda and near beer.
I mean, look, I can basically make a tunnel. I can carve at this thing with my fingertips. So this was an incredible medium to work in if you just wanted to keep making passageways everywhere underground.
Some say a tunnel was dug to the house of a Schmidt's employee and used to move real beer out of the brewery and into local speakeasies.
Okay, so we could go all day in this place. It's just one tunnel after another tunnel. Not even Phil knows how vast this tunnel system really is. We may be, hell, underneath the middle of St. Paul at this point.
Anything is possible, except maybe finding my way out of this mess.
But this would go this direction even further. But look, unbelievable. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right. Oh, this is good. Yeah, that was worth it.
No one will ever know exactly what went on in these tunnels, because this labyrinth is largely forgotten, just like St. Paul's old reputation as Sin City, USA. But some subterranean ventures leave a very big footprint. Can you imagine the catastrophe? Gigantic sinkhole into which all that water was pouring. That's coming up. And later, jeez, that scared me. Minneapolis comes back from another calamity. One chance to see this roof in this concave position. The St. Anthony Falls have been a blessing and a curse to Minneapolis. Both a power source and an obstacle. It's a natural wonder that needed an engineering miracle to survive. Check it out. St. Anthony Falls, an awesome sight to consider. Look at all this water pouring down here. All this power waiting to be harnessed. Now, 100 years ago, when St. Anthony Falls nearly disappeared due to a man-made catastrophe, they not only replaced the falls, but they improved upon them. Located northeast of downtown, the falls today are really a spillway lock and dam. Hey, how you doing? Brad Perkel with the Army Corps of Engineers is getting me unrestricted access into the infrastructure that rebuilt the falls that built Minneapolis. What does St. Anthony Falls mean to Minneapolis?
The power that you can harness from that waterfall is what powered mills and really brought a lot of people into this area.
In the 1800s, a natural 50-foot cataract in the river meant two things: power and money. By the 1860s, hydro-driven saw and flour mills lined both banks, trying to squeeze every drop out of their precious falls. The city went along with the ambitious expansion plan of local businessman William Eastman. So in the 1860s, the idea was that they actually tunnel underneath the falls, is that right?
Yep, they wanted to go from a point downstream, upstream.
The plan was to build a mill upstream from the falls on the shores of Nicollet Island. It would be powered by a torrent of water falling down a turbine shaft. Then a 2,000-foot tunnel dug under the riverbed would dump the water back out downstream.
And it got just to a point right around in here, and then it collapsed on it.
As workers scrambled to safety, a massive 90-foot sinkhole formed. Can you imagine the catastrophe? Gigantic sinkhole into which all that water was pouring for a matter of weeks. You've got a city that's basically depending on this water for everything. All the energy to run the industries that everybody's working in, all that energy is pouring in this sinkhole. As the monstrous vortex threatened to destroy the falls, locals cobbled together temporary fixes. So that was the moment and initiation of this decision to concretize, to basically do what we've got here.
Right, yep, that happened around the same time.
Saving St. Anthony Falls took the Army Corps of Engineers 6 years and 22,000 cubic yards of gravel to fill in the sinkhole and construct the concrete apron we see today. Over the years, the Corps kept making improvements, adding a lock and dam so boats could sail past the falls. So a barge is coming in right now.
Yep.
What's going to happen here?
Barge is going to come into the lock chamber, and this upstream gate is going to close.
Yeah.
Then they're going to drop this. This is a 50-foot drop. Once that is down to that level, then they open up the downstream gates, and off they go.
Okay. Around 1 million tons of cargo pass through here every year. This gravel barge locks through every day.
Joe.
Hey, Joel, nice to meet you. Where'd you come from today?
We came from St. Paul, all the way up to Minneapolis, Upper Harbor, and now we're going back to St. Paul.
So you're lowering as I talk to you.
Yeah.
It takes 10 minutes for 9 million gallons of water to empty out of the chamber. So there you go. Now the door's open on this end. See you later, Joel. The locks operate 365 days a year, but there's another way past the falls, if you know the right people. Down we go.
It's not too often that you get to walk inside of a river, not to mention one of the most important rivers in the world. But that's exactly what's happening here. I am literally inside of a waterfall, just beneath it. Had these falls not been repaired, gone would be the power for all those mills. Gone would be the economic engine for this city that would come to pass. I mean, if the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had not saved St. Anthony Falls, Minneapolis would not be what it is today.
To the earliest explorers,